Welcome to the Lotus Spiritual Path. Together, we explore mindfulness, wisdom, and the beauty of spiritual growth. Let's begin this peaceful journey.
The Monk and the Three Lessons. Introduction. In the stillness of dawn, the young monk prepared to leave the monastery for the first time. His master had told him, "You have studied the teachings and chanted the sutras, but true enlightenment is found not in words, but in life itself. Go out into the world, observe, and learn." Carrying only an alms bowl and dressed in simple robes, the monk bowed deeply to his master and the other monks. "I will return when I have found clarity," he promised. As he walked down the path leading away from the monastery, the mountains loomed in the distance, and the rising sun cast a golden glow over the fields. Though he felt a twinge of uncertainty, his heart was filled with purpose. The journey to understand the Dharma had begun. Lesson 1. Compassion. After days of walking, the monk came upon a vast field where a farmer was laboring under the scorching sun. Sweat dripped from the farmer's brow as he carefully tended to rows of crops. Curious, the monk approached and asked, "Why do you work so hard under such difficult conditions?" The farmer paused, his hands calloused and his face weathered, and replied, "Every seed I plant holds potential, but it cannot grow on its own. I must water it, nurture it, and protect it from harm. It is the same with people. Without love and care, they cannot thrive." The monk stayed with the farmer for several days, helping with the work. He watched how the farmer woke before dawn, checked each plant, and even sang softly to his crops. Though the work was exhausting, the farmer's heart was filled with joy. Compassion is not just a feeling. The farmer told him one evening as they shared a simple meal. It is action. It is the effort we make to ease the suffering of others and help them grow. As the monk prepared to leave, he bowed deeply to the farmer and said, "You have shown me that compassion is the seed of all goodness." With this lesson in his heart, he continued his journey. Lesson 2. Wisdom. In a bustling village, the monk came upon a grand house filled with treasures, golden statues, silk tapestries, and ornate furniture. Inside, he met a wealthy merchant who, despite his riches, appeared troubled. "Why do you look so sad when you have so much?" the monk asked. The merchant sighed and replied, "I have spent my entire life accumulating wealth, thinking it would bring me happiness. But now, as I grow older, I realize that I cannot take any of this with me when I die. My treasures bring me no peace, only fear of losing them." Intrigued, the monk spent several days observing the merchant's life. He saw how the man constantly checked his accounts, guarded his possessions, and worried over potential losses. Despite his riches, the merchant seemed poorer than the simplest villager. One evening, the merchant said, "True wealth is not in gold or jewels. It is in wisdom, the understanding that life is fleeting and that nothing lasts forever. Only by accepting this can we find peace." The monk pondered these words deeply. He realized that wisdom is the ability to see things as they truly are, beyond illusions and attachments. Before departing, he thanked the merchant and said, "You have taught me that wisdom is the only treasure that cannot be taken away." With this insight, he continued his journey. Lesson 3. Letting go. As the monk traveled further, he came upon a simple figure sitting beneath a tree, a beggar with a serene smile. The beggar had only a wooden bowl and a tattered cloak, yet he seemed more content than anyone the monk had met. "Why are you so at peace when you have so little?" the monk asked. The beggar laughed and said, "I have nothing to lose and nothing to fear. When you let go of attachment, you discover freedom. My happiness does not depend on what I own, but on my ability to live fully in the moment." The monk spent several days with the beggar, sharing stories and observing his way of life. He saw how the beggar faced each day with gratitude, even when the food was scarce or the weather harsh. "Letting go is not about giving up everything," the beggar explained. "It is about releasing the grip of fear and desire that binds us. When we let go, we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of life." As the monk prepared to continue his journey, he bowed to the beggar and said, "You have shown me that letting go is the key to true freedom." With this understanding, he made his way back to the monastery. Conclusion. After many months of travel, the monk returned to the monastery. His master greeted him with a knowing smile and asked, "What have you learned?" The monk replied, "I have learned 3 great lessons. Compassion is the seed of all goodness. It is not just a feeling but an action that nurtures others and ourselves. Wisdom is the treasure that lasts forever. It comes from understanding the impermanence of life. Letting go is the key to freedom. By releasing attachment, we free our hearts and minds. The master nodded and said, "These are the foundations of the Dharma. You have not only understood them but lived them. Your journey has brought you closer to enlightenment." That evening, as the moon rose over the monastery, the monk sat in meditation under its gentle light. His heart was filled with peace, and he felt the quiet joy of having found not just answers, but the path itself. Asterisk,